And welcome back to this week's Shop My Stash. So last week I picked out two lipsticks, one from the MAC range from the Avon and a NARS lipstick as well. To be honest with you, strangely I preferred the Avon one over the NARS. I feel like the NARS didn't really stand out very much on my lips, so as much as I love it, it probably wouldn't be one that I'd reach for very often. Really good for work though, because if it wears off it doesn't look noticeable, and same for that one. For lipsticks this week, Millie has actually picked two lipsticks that she'd like to show you, so you know what time it is. Let's go.
It's time for Millie's Pick of the Week.
So Millie's first lipstick choice is this one from Ted Baker, which, as you can probably tell, is well loved. She definitely has a theme for these kind of like nudie pinks, because the other one that she's picked is from a collection lipstick range, and this is this one here. And I'm so glad she picked these, because these are going to be so wearable for during the day for work, just because of the colours of them. So yeah, they are the two lipsticks that Millie has picked this week. Next up is blusher. So for blusher this week, I'm going to be going for, I think I might go for this because I've never actually tried it. This is the Beauty Bakery's Pizza Cake blush palette in 3 shades. I found that last week I was kind of missing the chance to play around with some different colours. So this one's nice because it has a lighter one, more like an orangey one, which I probably just have to like very, very lightly touch into. And then a bit of like a sparkly, ooh yeah. These look really nice. Yes. So the one that I was using last week was actually a MAC one. So it was actually this one here, which is the MAC Royal Sunset Satin Powder Blush. And it actually made me realise how much I love this blusher. I was using a bit of a different brush, which I think I might have mentioned before. But I was using this Real Techniques Duo Fibre face brush to apply it, as you can see from the end of it, and it just applied the blusher absolutely beautifully, and it just made me absolutely fall in love with that colour. So I'm absolutely loving this series so far, because it's making me try things that I wouldn't have like really gravitated towards before. So yeah, I'm going to go for the Beauty Bakery one this week. Next up we have little eyeshadow set. So the one that I picked last week, and also Millie's Magic Picker was out of this drawer as well, but last week I picked the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells little trio set, and I really enjoyed using this. I found that this crease colour was so glittery that you can't actually use it in the crease, so I was using more so this one, and I don't even think I used the Brow Bone one at all the whole time, so I'll put that one back in there. And then obviously Millie's little pick was the Famous pigment from Peaches and Cream, which I actually used this in a different way to how I've ever used their pigments before. I used it like without a primer underneath it, like a sticky base for it to stick to. I used it like literally just kind of fluttered it, I don't know what the word is, like laid it on top of my eyelid and just kind of let it drop naturally where I wanted to, and then put quite a bit in my inner corner as well, and it just looks so nice for day-to-day wear. So yeah, I was really excited that Millie picked this one, and now I'm really happy because it's got me to try it in like a more wearable day-to-day look, instead of like night out packing it on as much shimmer as I can possibly get kind of look instead. What should we pick this week from this drawer then? I'd like to try some of these. I've got some Stila. Let's move these little ones out of the way. I've got some Stila little creams down here, and I'd like to actually use these because I don't think I've used even half of these, to be honest with you. So I'm thinking maybe like this one and this one. So this is in the shade Kitten, which is obviously one of their most popular shades, and the shade Peachy Sheen as well. So one is a glitter and glow, and one is a shimmer and glow. So yeah, I'm excited to give them a go. Oh, I forgot to mention actually, blusher as well last week was this Pixie one as well. I really enjoyed using it. I found that it just didn't really interest me as much as the MAC one. That's probably why I forgot to put it back in there. Next drawer is this like little weird one of foundations. So last week I picked the Maybelline Superstay, and I originally picked this shade here, which is the shade 03 True Ivory, and I found it was way too light for me and way too full coverage for during the day, so I had to kind of mix it with the darker shade. This is definitely not going to be a foundation that I'll be reaching for during the day, strictly nighttime only, because it's just way too much. The other one that I had, and I did try mixing these on my first day of trying them, and it looked absolutely horrendous. I think I looked like an absolute cake face. It was just way too much. And I found that I actually really enjoy this Makeup Revolution stick, especially for how quick and easy it is, to the point where I actually only have, oh, wrong way around, I actually only have this much left of it. That is all that is left of it. So I'm actually going to keep this out, and I'm going to use this up, and that's going to be my thing to use up this week. And if I use it up before the end of the week, then I'll just reach for another one that's in here and update you next week. So the next drawer is primers, like eyeshadow primers, brow stuff, colourful eyeliners, and then black eyeliners, and then back here is mascaras. But if you watch the first week of my Shop My Stash, you know that mascara is not something that I'm switching up every week, as it is just a waste to be opening a fresh mascara every week. So I'm just continuing to use my Benefit by Girl Bang Mascara. But I did use the MAC Perfect Brow Sculpting Pencil in Ash Blonde last week, and I actually really enjoyed this, especially for day-to-day work. I just think it was really nice. It really stuck my eyebrows, like hairs, down itself, which surprised me because I didn't think that colour would suit me or that it'd actually be any good as well. And I was also using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, their Anti-Crease Eyeshadow Primer. It's just an eyeshadow primer. It's nothing compared to my P. Louise base. I don't think anything will ever compare to my P. Louise base. So, yeah, it's just one of them. I don't really have many eyeshadow primers, to be honest with you. So I think this week I'm just going to... Oh, actually, we'll try this one because I've never tried this one here. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Original. I've never tried this before, I don't think, so we'll put that in this week's Shop My Stash. So for brows, I'm going to go in with this Soap & Glory Archery. This has the brow tint on one side, and then also the Precise shaping pencil on the other side, which very disgustingly has an eyebrow hair on the end of it. So this is going to be this week's brow product to try out. As always, I'm going to be keeping the same brow mascara, like brow gel, because like I said, for the same reason in my last video as the mascara, I don't want to be opening a fresh one every single week because it is just a waste. So I'm going to be trying the number 7 Stay Perfect Metallic Eyes Pencil, and I've swatched it on this hand if I can swap over without being too wobbly. And it's kind of like a metallic-y, I don't know if my camera will focus, metallic-y grey colour. So yeah, I'm going to try this to kind of push myself out my comfort zone and see what I come up with. I also had this in last week Shop My Stash. This is the number 7 Stay Perfect Liquid Eyeliner, and I think I only used this once, maybe twice, and I really liked it, but I'm obviously not picking one this week, so I'll pop that back there. So the next drawer has quite a few different items that I picked from last week. We'll start with the concealer first, which is just this little tub back here. And last week I picked the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in the shade C2. I actually got to use this once because then it ran out. I tried to like stick my tweezers in to pull out the little stop cap that's in here, like in this part, but I just couldn't for the life of me get it out. So this is going to be going in my little bag for my empties video. But yeah, I actually used up a product, like wow, this is going well. So I think the one I'm going to go for is the Maybelline Eraser Eye Anti-Age concealer, because as you can see I have only got a little bit of this left as well. This is absolutely filthy, it is so dirty. But yeah, I'm going to try this one. I don't even know what shade it is. Oh, light. That's what this one's like. It's weird because I don't actually wear concealers during the day for work. It's not something that I reach for because I wear my glasses, so I just think, well, it's covered up anyway. So yeah, let's try that one out. So for primer last week, we picked the MAC Strobe Cream. I absolutely loved using this. I'm quite glad I have to switch this out because I was just so impressed. I don't know if it made any difference to my foundation or what, but it just gave me such a nice glow. I got a compliment on my skin. So yeah, I also got a compliment on my skin when I wore this with the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation, just them two alone, of obviously the other stuff that I had on as well. But yeah, absolutely love this and would highly recommend. Now I understand why it's such a staple for so many people. So next week I'm going to try this. This is the Pixie by Petra, or should I say this week, Flawless Beauty Primer. A brightening face primer which adds a youthful glow. I'm all about that life. Kind of similar from the sounds of it to like what Strobe Cream does, but obviously a Pixie one. So yeah, excited to try that. Powders, we had two that I picked last week. I had the Nude by, oh hello, look at the state of my hair. I had the Nude by Nature translucent loose finishing powder, and to be honest with you, I think I only use this the once. I just don't typically reach for loose powders, so this week I'm not even going to bother picking one. But the pressed powder that I picked last week was the Face Stockholm. This is the powder foundation in late August. Sorry, my eggs are falling down. I absolutely love this powder. The only thing that annoys me is the packaging opens up like so like it opens up so you see the bottom of it, and then it's a nightmare to kind of like stick your finger in this your nail in to like, I've done it again, to get in there to get to the actual powder. But if I knew where I could repurchase this, I would definitely repurchase it because it just gives me such a flawless, I don't know, like a veil on the skin. Really, really impressed with it. It reminds me quite a lot of the MAC one that I always reach for. So I think, because ideally I would like a pressed one, but none of these are really pressed, are they? I might have to have a look in my other drawer. Let's just pick the priming water as well, which I also picked from this drawer. The PS Primer Water. I'm actually going to keep this for this week and just try and get this used up as well, because it's just priming water, you know what I mean? So let's pick a press powder for us to play around with. I'm going to try this Benefit one in the, I know the shade's a little bit too dark, but it'll be okay with my foundation. This is in the shade Toffee, but I think this has new packaging now. I think this might be the old packaging that I've got. So the highlight that I picked last week was the Mary Luminizer by The Balm, and if you know me and my channel, and clearly from the pan, hello again, I absolutely love this highlighter. I really enjoyed using it again. Made me realise how much I love it. Made me realise it definitely isn't as blinding as my other highlighters. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed her. I'm going to actually start using my Laura Geller one. So I'm going to be trying this one again. This is Gilded Honey. This also used to be, this kind of is the one that kicked Mary Luminizer off the spotlight. So yeah, it'd be exciting to see what I think of this now after I've been using the Mary Luminizer for a week. So I'll put that to one side. And then the bronzer that I picked, which is the Galan Terracotta Bronzer. Every time I put it on in the morning, for at least the first 3 days, I was just like, oh, it's taken me so long to build it up. It's so natural, I can barely see it. Just because I'm so used to how dark my MAC one is and the difference that it makes on my skin. So I kind of grew a love for this in the end for how natural it is. But it's definitely not something that I would repurchase again because it just does not compare at all in any way, shape or form. It just does not compare. So I don't actually know what bronzer to try. Oh, I might try this one. Just from me loving the powder foundation, maybe this might be nice. This is another Face Stockholm product, and this is in the bronzer in Cancun. If this is really, really bad, I will have to swap it for something because I need to have bronzer. I just can't survive without bronzer. I think to push myself out of my comfort zone though, I'm going to try to use this at some point this week. This is the New Look Pure Colour Liquid Concealer. I remember buying this in the sale when I was with Amber in New Look. It was like 50p, something crazy like that. I remember thinking, I'm going to buy that because I can contour with it. And I literally have swatched it and never actually used it to contour with. So that is this week's challenge. Try this one out. And then last but certainly not least, the eyeshadow palette that I used last week was the MUA Burning Embers palette, and I'm not gonna lie, I just don't like this palette. Yeah, I just really don't like it. I don't like the tones of the colours in it. It just made me look like I was bruised, like the brown was just, I don't know, it just made me look mucky, and I just, yeah, wasn't my thing. So this week I'm going to be using the W7 in the Buff Natural Nudes Eye Colour Palette, and this is meant to be obviously a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, which looks like this. I have actually used this black shade to death because it is such a good black shade. I used it when I did makeup for a dance school for like one of their shows, and everybody had like basically black smoky eye, so that's why it is beaten up. but well loved. So yeah, that is the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using this week, along with them Steeler glitters and shimmers as well. So that is all of my products for this week's Shop My Stash. I'm actually really excited. I realise I'm actually pushing myself quite a lot out of my comfort zone and trying a lot of new things in this one. So yeah, I'm excited to report to you next week how I got on with these. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let me know which product you saw in my stash that you'd like me to try next week. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I love you very much. Goodbye.